As we head into the holiday season, American food banks need plenty of help and donations. So, how exactly can you give them that help that they need? Joining us now is Kristen Sokol from Gleaners Community Food Bank, based here in Detroit. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, we know there is a great need, and a lot of people want to be able to help where they can. So, we'll get to that in a moment. But first, if you could tell us a little bit about Gleaners and the work that you do.
I'd love to talk about Gleaners always. So, Gleaners is a food bank. That means that we collect, store, and distribute food for a 400 strong partner network, which includes pantries and shelters and schools, senior centers, etc. And we make sure that they have the foods they need to serve the community. We also have community mobile distributions in which we do those drive-throughs that you've probably seen on TV many times before, where guests can come to us, go through a drive-through model, and get approximately 30 to 40 pounds of groceries that will help supplement what they have in their pantries at home.
Wow. And Christian, we know that there is a great need across the country. Studies also showing that here in Michigan, the need is great here as well. How important is it that we are able to get this food out to those families?
The unfortunate reality is that far too many families are continuing to struggle. Inflation has been affecting families for more than 2 years, and there were families who didn't come out of the pandemic ahead. So we've seen an increase in need of about 30% across our partner network and our community mobiles. And at such a critical time during the holidays when expenses go up, your utilities go up, everything that you're doing is surrounding food. It's a critical time for families who are struggling and need support.
Yeah, and there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the people who are taking advantage of these resources. A lot of times, these people have jobs and they are trying to make ends meet, but things are tough, right?
That's correct. With inflation making everything cost more, we're seeing families who were able to make their budgets and that little bit of extra just put them over the edge. And let's be fair, an emergency can happen to a family at any time. You go through a health crisis at home, the breadwinner has some kind of challenge where they can't continue at work as usual. And so those expenses add up really quickly, and it can happen to anyone. We're seeing it across our 5 county service territory from Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Monroe, and Livingston, rural, urban, young, older. It is a problem that affects everyone and anyone at any time, and we're seeing it in every community.
Yeah, it's often said that most people are just a couple paychecks away from being in need of that help. Speaking of, how are people able to help you guys with the work that you're trying to do?
The easiest way that our community members can help us is actually by donating. With Gleaner's purchasing power, we can make the most of every single dollar. So for us, we can turn $1 into 3 meals, which may be difficult in your own common shopping. And that helps us to make sure we have the finances to buy the things that we need the most at the time that we need it most. So families who are looking for support with that fresh produce, families who really need support with fresh milk, protein, those whole grains. But if you did want to donate food, we absolutely will accept that as well. We are always looking for canned protein, so chicken or tuna, absolutely looking for things like peanut butter. If you have fruits or vegetables that the vegetables low in sodium and the fruit low in sugar, we'll take those at any time. Those are always things that families need for their shelves. And we just ask no glass, please, only boxes and cans.
Okay, so we want those non-perishables, but like you said, bringing in those donations help with getting the other things that people need just to make sure that they're getting the nutrients in. Do you sometimes find that you're getting more of one type of donation than the other?
It's easy for families for households to provide finances instead of food. To give you some perspective, we distributed more than 50 million pounds of food to the community last year, and approximately 1.5 million pounds of that food was through food drives. So we really can make a big difference with those financial donations. And then, of course, we look to our partners like farmers and retailers, manufacturers, and they make up a big part of the difference in the food that we distribute, as well as our government resources.
Okay, what about volunteers? I know around the holidays, a lot of people look for different volunteering opportunities. Anything there?
Well, we had more than 17,000 volunteer shifts last year, so it's a lot of work to be done, and we are always looking for volunteers. So if you don't have the opportunity during the holiday season, we absolutely need volunteers in January and February when folks are moving on from the holiday season, but we still have generosity in our hearts. From packing in our warehouse so that we can deliver things through our community mobiles to helping us with some of our data intake and at our distributions, there's plenty of opportunity to support your community members.
Yeah, and again, in the spirit of the holidays, we see a lot of volunteers. We also see a lot of donations. But looking at these numbers, there is a need throughout the year, and that's something that's important to keep in mind.
That's right. There are other key times of year where there are challenges, and think about summer, for example, when kids are out of school. When kids are in school, they get 2 out of their 3 meals provided to them. But when there are school breaks, like in winter break or summer break, spring break, those kids are at home and they're not able to get the meals at school. So those are really important times for donations, for volunteer support, for a food collection. Absolutely, all year long.
All right, Kristen Sokol with Gleaners Community Food Bank. We wish you all the best with the important work that you're doing, and we thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for highlighting this really important challenge. We appreciate it.